everybody, Jamie here, and a lot of you really enjoyed watching my DIY on how to transform a cereal box into a folder. Well, I keep on eating cereal and I keep on having boxes left over, so I thought to myself, why not try something new? I went to write some ideas down in my notebook until I realized I didn't have a notebook, so I guess that answers that question. Get ready as I show you how to make your own cereal box notebook. Let's do it, girl. Okay, so in order to make your notebook, you're going to need one big cereal box, a ruler and writing utensil, a cutting tool, a bone folder or similar object, binder clips or paper clips, craft glue, a needle and thread, a decorative button, decorative sealer from contact paper to duct tape, decorative paper from cardstock to wrapping paper, and paper filler. I'm going with plain printer paper, but you could also do lined paper or graph paper or even scrapbook paper too. Now you might not need all of these materials because it just depends on how in-depth you want to be at creating your notebook. So I just recommend following along with me for now and then deciding what you need from there. All right, let's box things up. Step 1. The first step is to cut your cereal box into a panel. Open up all of the tabs on your box before folding it down flat on your workstation. Using your ruler and writing utensil, outline a rectangle the size you want your notebook to be. Then cut out your rectangle from your box. Now keep in mind that your panel needs to be slightly taller and wider than your paper filler. Since my paper is 11 inches wide and 8.5 inches tall, I made my panel 12 inches wide and 9 inches tall. Now I adjusted my panel to fit the size of my paper, but of course you can always trim your paper down in order to make your notebook as big or as small as you like. Seriously, you could have a notebook like this big if you wanted to. Not even kidding. Once you've cut out your panel, the next step is to fold it in half along with your paper filler. In order to achieve straight lines and a more professional look, I recommend what's called scoring your material. Place your ruler up against the spot you'd like to fold. Then take a bone folder or something similar and place it firmly against your cardboard, sliding it straight down your ruler from one end to the other. This will create a helpful indent in the cardboard for folding. Now you can hide the fact that you're using a cereal box by folding the brand part in, or you can brag about your awesome DIY skills by facing the brand part out for everyone to see. Real. Cereal. Had to. As far as scoring your paper goes, I recommend binding your pages with the clip first in order to keep them all in place. Then, once they've been scored, crease each page individually from edge to edge in order to eliminate any stiffness in the material. I'll tell you right now that you probably won't need any more than 25 pages of filler paper. 1, because that'll give you a 50-page notebook to work with, and 2, because if you try folding a stack any bigger than that, it's gonna be pretty tricky. Step 3. If you were planning on decorating your notebook, now would be the time, and you can use anything here, from scrapbook paper to wrapping paper to duct tape, which can actually double as a sealant for your notebook in order to help keep it waterproof and bend resistant. I decided to use colorful cardstock in order to decorate the outside and inside of one of my notebooks before switching it up to use paint in order to decorate the inside of another notebook. Step 4. Once your notebook is pretty, it's time to make it practical by adding in your button closure. Now there's a few ways that you can do this. One way is to follow the technique that I showed you in my DIY bookmark tutorial by sewing in a button on one side and then sewing in a ribbon, string, or elastic band on the other side. That way, all you need to do is loop the string over the button in order to close your book. Another option is to sew on your button with a string about 3 feet long, making sure the string trails out the top of your cover underneath your button. This way, all you have to do is loop your string around your book a few times and then around your button in order to bind your notebook safely shut. Step 5. All right, let's finish things up by attaching in your paper filler. Clip your filler paper to the center of your inside cover. With your inside cover facing up, use your ruler and writing utensil to make a tiny marking every ½ inch or so. Then thread the needle with your string before tying a knot at one end. Beginning at the outside cover of your notebook, poke your needle up through one marking and then down through the other, pulling tightly with your thread. Continue this running stitch through each of your markings until you get to the outside top of your notebook. Tie an ending knot and then cut off any remaining thread. Once your pages are locked into place, close your book and apply pressure firmly down the spine in order to make sure that all your pages lay evenly. Step 6. The final step is to seal in all of your hard work. Cover up and protect your knotted thread by gluing on a piece of decorative cardstock down the notebook spine. And in order to keep my cardboard from cracking, I applied a layer of Mod Podge to the entire front and back cover of my notebook. Here's where you could also use something like contact paper or clear packing tape too. Ta-da! Your notebook is now complete. As you could see, you only needed to use one size of your cereal box in order to make one full notebook. So go ahead and use the other side of your cereal box in order order to make an identically sized notebook. Or you could always scale down your paper and your panels in order to make several smaller notebooks. This craft is perfect if you also have any school finals coming up, because then you could easily make a notebook for every single subject that you need to study for. Or you could just make that extra notebook for a friend in order to help them study for their finals. Or you could make a personal notebook, or you could make a crafting notebook, or you could make a notebook for, well, honestly, I think you know what to use a notebook for, so just go out there and make one. How did you create your cereal box notebook? Tweet me at Jamie Petito, Instagram me at HeyJamie, or just tell me all about it in the comments below. We did it, girl. I'm Jamie, and you're on Gurl.com. Hey, you guys, if you love watching these videos as much as I like making them, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more DIYs every single Wednesday. Binder for your supplies.